Hi, I'm Ellie Clare, and before we start today's topic, I want to be honest with you for a moment. This video was actually planned for February, but we're recording it in early March. At the end of January, my PTSD was triggered for the first time in nearly 5 years, and my nervous system went into what's called shutdown state or dorsal vagal. When that happens, my body essentially hits the brakes. I can still function, but only on a very basic level. So for a few weeks, I had to scale right back and focus on the bare minimum required to support my clients and keep things running. And honestly, that's okay. As much as consistency matters in marketing, life also happens. Sometimes our nervous system needs space. Sometimes we need to slow down. Nothing was lost, nothing was gained. We simply pause and now we move forward. And in a strange way, that actually ties in with the topic for this video today perfectly. Because a lot of business owners feel like they are falling behind in their marketing. Like if they miss a post, miss a week, or aren't everywhere online, they've somehow failed. But visibility doesn't actually work like that anymore. So today, I want to talk about how local businesses are actually being found in 2026 and why visibility today is less about noise and more about trust. One of the biggest challenges business owners face right now is feeling that they have to be everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, email, blogging, short videos, long videos, AI content, and the pressure to keep up with all of it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like if you're not posting consistently, you're invisible. But that idea mostly comes from older marketing advice that was built around social media algorithms and consistent activity. Social media moves fast, so you have to post daily, if not 2 to 3 times a day, to ensure that you get enough exposure. And well, let's be realistic. There is no local business owner who has that kind of time to create that much content, and even less business owners who can afford to pay an agency to do it for you. The reality is that the way people find business today is actually much broader, but much calmer. So let's break it down. In 2026, most people discover businesses through a handful of core channels. The first is still Google search. People search Google when they need something. They search YouTube when they want to understand something. And increasingly, they're asking AI tools questions as well. For example, I have done this search recently, and I've written, can you list the top 5 restaurants in my area that serve fried rice? And summarize customer reviews so I can choose which I'd like to book. In this example, you can see that Google Gemini has listed the places I can get fried rice in my area and summarize the feedback and information to make it easy for me to make a decision. After all, we are all busy, so simplifying our decisions makes it so much better. Who else feels like fried rice now? What's important to understand is that all of these systems are looking for the same thing. They're looking for signals of trust. Does this business appear legitimate? Do they explain things clearly? Do they show up consistently over time? Do other people recommend them? This means visibility today isn't really about being perfect on all platforms. It's about being consistent across platforms. It's about being discoverable and trustworthy in the places where people are looking for you. Google search, YouTube search, reviews, recommendations, and increasingly AI-generated answers that pull information from credible sources online, like your website, your Google business profile, your social media platforms, and local listings. What this means is that visibility today is less about tactics and more about consistency. People rarely choose a business the first time they see it. Instead, they recognize the name, they see helpful information, and they see consistent messaging. They see reviews, and over time, it creates a sense of trust. This is why clarity and consistency outperform clever marketing tactics, viral content, and spam content. A lot of modern marketing advice still focuses on hacks, growth hacks, algorithm tricks, posting schedules designed to beat the system, but those things rarely create real trust. What actually works long term is consistency and authenticity. Showing up with useful information, answering questions people genuinely have, helping people understand their options, and doing that repeatedly over time. Consistency builds trust, and trust is what turns visibility into real business. So, if you run a local business, what does this actually mean for you? It means that you don't have to create completely new content for every platform. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they have to start from scratch every time they post something. But in reality, one good piece of content can turn into weeks of visibility. For example, you might record one useful video answering a question your customers ask all the time. That one single video can become a blog post on your website. From that blog post, you can pull out several short social media posts. You can turn key points into short videos or reels. You can create a carousel explaining the steps. And suddenly 30 minutes spent creating one helpful video has turned into multiple pieces of content that supports your visibility across different platforms. This is what I mean when I talk about holistic digital marketing. Your content works as a system, an ecosystem. Another important idea here is evergreen content. Evergreen content is information that stays relevant to your customers for a long time. Things like answering common questions, explaining your services, sharing advice, or helping people understand their options, because that content stays relevant. You can reuse it. You can also share it again when you're busy and don't have time to create new content. You can repost it months later. You can include it in emails or link it to when customers ask questions. The reality is that the likelihood of everyone seeing a single post the first time you publish it is extremely small. So reusing valuable content is not repetition, it's reinforcement. Visibility in 2026 isn't about creating endless new content. It's about creating helpful content once and allowing it to work for you over time. If you've ever felt like you're falling behind in your marketing, I hope this video reassures you a little. Visibility isn't about perfection. It's about clarity, trust, and consistency over time. In the next video, I'll break down how people are actually finding businesses today across Google, YouTube, AI tools, and referrals. Understanding that ecosystem changes the way you approach marketing completely. So if you want calmer, more sustainable way to think about marketing, I'd love you to subscribe and join me here. You can also join my email list for practical tools and guidance. And if you want personalized support, I offer one-on-one mentoring and small group sessions. All of those links are in the description below. If you're interested in learning more about why I changed the way I do marketing and learn about my story and behind the scenes, check out this video here.